In late October 2021, it was announced that Kyrgyzstan had placed an order for 3 Turkish Bayraktar TB2 unmanned combat aerial vehicles, UCAVs, from Baykar Tech. The news of the deal came as a surprise not only because Kyrgyzstan was previously not believed to have a requirement for UCAVs, but also because Kyrgyzstan possesses little in the way of an air force in the first place. In fact, the Kyrgyz Air Force only began to operationally deploy fixed-wing aircraft in 2018, and that because the Tu-26 transport aircraft in question were donated by Russia. On the 18th of December 2021, the much-anticipated TB2S entered service with the Kyrgyz State Border Guard Service. The TB2s are the first aerial assets known to have entered service with the State Border Guard. While the reconnaissance capabilities of the Bayraktar TB2 will likely be highly appreciated by the State Border Guard, the introduction of MAM-L and MAM-C precision-guided munitions allows for new capabilities entirely. The TB2 can be armed with up to 4 MAM munitions, which contrary to helicopter-dropped bombs can hit their targets with high precision. The introduction of INS GPS to the MAM series has meanwhile increased the range of the munition from 7 km to upwards of 14 km, positioning the TB2 as Kyrgyzstan's most revered asset that can locate targets and subsequently target them either with its own munitions or by directing other fire support assets against them. After detecting enemy targets through signal intelligence or the long range of its forward-looking infrared, FLIR, turret, believed to be over 75 kilometers against targets such as vehicles, these targets can then be engaged by Kyrgyzstan's arsenal of 122mm BM-21 and BM-21V multiple rocket launchers, MRLs, 122mm 2S1 Gvozdika self-propelled guns, Springs, and 120mm 2S9 Nona self-propelled mortars, SPMs, in addition to towed artillery pieces. All of these systems rely on forward observers or aerial reconnaissance to target enemy positions or troop concentrations. Owing to the small size of the country's military, the potential for synergy with other branches of the armed forces is limited. Kyrgyzstan's TB2s are equipped with an Aselsan-Katz FLIR turret rather than the Wescam MX-15D or the Argos 2 HDT. The modularity of the TB2 enables the fitting of several different types of FLIR systems, a feature that likely has contributed further to the drone's commercial success. Like the TB2s received by Turkmenistan, Kyrgyzstan's examples feature a number of improvements over earlier versions of the drone, including a second tail-mounted camera for night operations and an anti-jamming device on top of the fuselage. The Bayraktar TB2S will operate out of a newly constructed facility at Jalalabad Airport in the west of the country. This facility was constructed in November 2021, shortly before the delivery of the UCAVs. Due to the mountainous terrain of Kyrgyzstan and the lack of major population centers, only a few airports are located throughout the country. Nonetheless, the TB2s have sufficient range to cover almost the entirety of the country when operating out of Jalalabad. The Bayraktar TB2 is not the first type of UAV to be acquired by Kyrgyzstan. In late August 2021, it was revealed that Kyrgyzstan had procured WJ-100 reconnaissance UAVs from China. The WJ-100 is equipped with a FLIR turret, but unlike the Bayraktar TB2 can't be armed and has an endurance of only 3 hours, compared to some 27 hours of the TB2. The Kyrgyz armed forces are further to be strengthened by 6 Russian Orlan-10 UAVs, which have also entered service with the Russian armed forces stationed at Kont Air Base. At first glance, the acquisition of 3 Bayraktar TB2S by Kyrgyzstan might seem less spectacular than the purchase of TB2S by countries like Ukraine and Morocco. Nonetheless, there is perhaps no sale that demonstrates the benefits of the TB2 so much as the one by Kyrgyzstan. For decades operating no armed fixed-wing aircraft owing to a lack of funds and expertise, the TB2 arguably presents itself as the first asset that combines effective results with reliability and low acquisition and operating costs. With 3 out of 5 Central Asian countries now operating Turkish drones, all eyes are on Uzbekistan and Tajikistan as Turkish drones are rapidly conquering the UCAV market.